Listen to me. I don't know where you are in life right now. Maybe you're standing strong. Maybe you're barely holding on. But one thing I know for sure, people are breaking down quietly, slowly, day by day. They're smiling in public and suffocating in silence. They're attending church, quoting scripture, singing songs, but deep down, they're anxious, nervous, on edge. The world is shaking, y'all. Earthquakes, wars, rumors of wars, famine, disease, rebellion, corruption. Everything's unraveling. And if you're watching, if your spirit's awake, then you feel it. You know something big is coming. The signs aren't just on the news. They're in your gut. The rapture stress is real. I'm not here to sugarcoat it. I'm not here to calm you with lullabies when the fire alarms are going off. I'm here to remind you that now is not the time to panic. It's the time to prepare. It's the time to wake up, to stop living lukewarm, to stop dancing between faith and fear, to stop scrolling through chaos and pretending like it's not happening. The pressure is mounting. The devil's playing chess, and some of y'all are still playing checkers. You're still chasing likes when you should be chasing purpose. You're worried about who's watching your stories while heaven is watching your soul. Let me ask you, what are you doing with your time, your energy, your gifts? Because when the trumpet sounds, it won't matter how many followers you had. It won't matter if you had a degree or a drip. It won't matter if people called you king or queen. Did the King of Kings know you? That's the only thing that will matter. I see people falling apart. They snapping on their spouses, losing at their kids, losing control over little things. You think it's burnout, but it's deeper than that. It's spiritual. This is the shaking of the soul. The spirit of this age is crushing people from the inside. And you can't fix a spiritual problem with physical distractions. Netflix won't save you. A vacation won't cure you. A new outfit won't cover the emptiness in your heart. You need something eternal. You're scrolling through prophecy, but ignoring your part in it. You're watching videos on the end times, but not watching your own walk. You're afraid of being left behind, but you're already spiritually behind. You can't outrun this with knowledge. You need conviction. The rapture stress is real because deep down we know we're running out of time. Not just world time, your time. You don't have 50 more years. Some of you don't have 5. This is not fear-mongering. This is urgency. This is love. Because if someone saw you standing on a train track with a train coming and they said nothing, that's not love, that's wickedness. I'm sounding the alarm today because I love you and because I know you were made for more. So here's what you do. You get your mind right. Stop consuming junk. Stop filling your soul with chaos and confusion. Renew your mind with truth. Speak life. Speak scripture. Declare victory over your family, your mind, your future. Get off social media if it's robbing your peace. Get into the word. Get into prayer. Get into alignment. And then get your heart right. Unforgiveness, let it go. Pride, kill it. Jealousy, bury it. You can't walk into eternity holding hands with hell. Let the Spirit of God clean house. You've been living in survival mode long enough. It's time to live in revival mode. And lastly, get your mission right. You weren't born to just pay bills and die. You weren't born to just argue online. You were born to be a light in darkness, to lead your family to truth, to lead the civilization, to serve, to sow seeds that bear eternal fruit. Every day you wake up, that's a divine opportunity to prepare, not in panic, but in purpose. Stop telling yourself you'll get it together later. Later is not promised. You don't rise to the occasion. You fall to your level of preparation. You got to decide now. Who are you living for? What are you building? What will last when everything else burns? The stress you feel isn't just anxiety. It's a soul crying out for direction. That unrest inside you is the spirit telling you, get serious, get focused, get ready. Don't wait for peace to find you. Pursue it. Don't wait for a sign. Be the sign. I'm talking to the warriors, the chosen ones, the called out people. It's time to stop playing church and start being the church. Not with fancy words, but with real power, with conviction, with fire, with boldness. It's time to rise. Time to stand. Time to stop blending in and start burning bright. The rapture stress is real, but let me flip the script. That stress can either paralyze you or power you. It can either break you down or build you up. You choose. It's time to stop fearing the end and start living like you know the author of it. So I need you to wake up, not in fear, but in faith. I need you to grind, not for applause, but for the approval of heaven. I need you to fight, not with fists, but with faith, obedience, and truth. People are breaking down, but you're about to break through. Let's go. The stress you're feeling isn't just mental, it's spiritual. You think it's just life weighing you down, bills stacking up, deadlines coming fast, people testing your patience, but it's deeper than that. This isn't just about pressure from the outside, it's a war on the inside. There's a battle going on in your spirit that your mind can't explain. That weight you wake up with, the tightness in your chest, the restlessness that keeps you up at night, that's not just anxiety. That's your spirit trying to get your attention. It's trying to tell you something isn't right. Something's out of alignment. You've been treating symptoms, but not the source. You've been turning to temporary relief, scrolling, binging, running, avoiding, but none of that is fixing the real issue. Your soul is hungry for something eternal, and you've been feeding it distractions. You can't fight spiritual warfare with carnal weapons. That's why the more you try to fix it on your own, the worse it gets. That's why you feel drained after trying to rest, because what your body needs is different from what your soul needs. You've been operating in survival mode, grinding through each day, pretending to be okay, but your spirit is screaming for revival. You feel the shift in the atmosphere, the weight of this world closing in, and something in you knows the clock is ticking. This isn't just about your mental health. This is about your soul health. The signs of the times aren't just external, they're internal. You're sensing what your spirit already knows. We are getting closer to the moment when the line between eternal life and eternal regret will be drawn. And the stress of that reality, whether you realize it or not, is shaking your foundation. The enemy wants you to believe you're just tired, just depressed, just overworked, but that's a lie. What you are is spiritually underfed, underfocused, and underprepared. You've been living on spiritual leftovers, trying to survive off old sermons, recycled motivation, shallow encouragement. But you need a fresh word. You need fresh oil. You need to get back to the secret place, back to your knees, back to a relationship with God that goes beyond Sunday. You've been trying to fill a spiritual void with physical comfort, and it's not working. That's why no vacation can fix you. That's why no relationship can heal you. That's why no amount of success is satisfying. Your spirit is homesick for heaven, and it's breaking under the weight of this broken world. That tightness in your chest, that constant restlessness, that nagging fear that something big is about to happen, it's not just you being dramatic. It's not just the news getting in your head. It's your soul recognizing that eternity is closer than you think. It's your spirit sounding the alarm that it's time to get serious, to get right, to get aligned. And if you don't recognize the spiritual nature of this stress, you'll waste your energy fighting the wrong battle. You'll try to fix your schedule when what you need is to fix your soul. You'll try to declutter your house When your heart is full of clutter, you'll try to cut people off when you need to cut off sin. The enemy's goal is to keep you distracted, to keep you busy, to keep you numb. Because if you ever stopped and truly looked inside, you'd realize how desperate your soul is for something real, something eternal, something holy. So stop brushing it off. Stop telling yourself you'll be fine if you just rest a little more. This isn't a nap. You've been putting your soul on silent mode, and now it's screaming just to be heard. You need to answer that call. You need to stop treating the symptoms and start confronting the truth. You're not just tired, you're spiritually starved. You're not just stressed, you're spiritually out of sync. This stress is spiritual, and it requires a spiritual solution. You don't prepare when the trumpet sounds, you prepare before it. When that moment comes, it won't be time to start praying, start reading, start living right. It'll be too late. The preparation has to happen now, in the unseen, in the unnoticed, in the daily decisions that no one applauds. Everybody wants to be ready when the sky splits open, but nobody wants to put in the spiritual work when life feels normal. People think they'll recognize the signs, that they'll have time to turn around, to repent, to get serious. But the truth is, when the trumpet sounds, it won't come with a warning. It'll come in a flash. And what's in your heart at that moment will be the only thing that matters. No more pretending, no more delaying, no more lukewarm faith. That moment will expose what you've been building in silence. You don't train for battle in the middle of war. Soldiers don't sharpen their swords when the enemy's already charging. They train in the quiet. They train when it's boring. They train when nobody's watching. And that's how spiritual preparation works too. It's not glamorous. It's not exciting. It's not about emotional highs. It's about discipline. It's about doing the right thing when nobody sees. It's about choosing holiness over hype, conviction over convenience, and truth over trends. If you're waiting for motivation to move, you've already lost. Because the ones who will be ready aren't the ones who felt something in the moment. They're the ones who lived prepared long before the moment came. People keep saying they'll get serious tomorrow, but tomorrow is a trap. Tomorrow is a thief. Tomorrow doesn't belong to you. You don't have the luxury of waiting. Heaven isn't accepting late entries. This is not a game you can pause and pick back up later. Your eternal destiny is being shaped by your daily decisions. Every time you ignore that tug in your spirit, every time you silence that voice calling you higher, you harden your heart a little more. And eventually, your ears won't hear it anymore. The call to prepare isn't just for preachers or the super spiritual. It's for you right now, right where you are. God never told you to wait for the storm to build the ark. Noah didn't wait for the rain to start before picking up a hammer. He built for decades while others laughed, while nothing made sense, while there was no visible reason to believe. That's faith. That's preparation. You build when it's dry. You prepare when the skies are clear. Because when the clouds come, it's already too late to start building. Some of y'all are looking for signs, but what you need is obedience. You don't need another confirmation. You need consistency. You need to stop watching prophecy like entertainment and start living like it's real. If you knew a fire was coming to your house, you wouldn't wait until the flames were at your door to gather your things. You'd move fast. You'd protect what matters. You'd warn others. So why do we treat eternity with less urgency than a temporary fire? Why are we calm while the world burns with sin? Why are we passive when the trumpet could sound any second? It's because we've been lulled to sleep, comfortable, distracted, entertained. The enemy doesn't have to destroy you if he can delay you. If he can make you think you've got time, he wins. But you don't. You have now, this moment, this breath. That's all you're guaranteed. So you prepare before it happens. You forgive before they apologize. You obey before it makes sense. You clean your heart before the inspection comes. You turn from sin before the judgment. You seek truth before deception becomes normal. Because when the trumpet sounds, you won't have time to search for oil. You'll either have it or you won't. And if you're empty, it's over. The door will shut. The chance will be gone. And all that will be left is what you did while you still had time. You can't fight end time battles with a distracted mind. The warfare that's coming and the warfare that's already here is not casual. It's not surface level. It's spiritual. And it requires full attention, full awareness, and full surrender. But too many people are distracted, disconnected, and spiritual. You're trying to fight demons while scrolling your feed. You're trying to stay alert while being entertained by everything that puts your soul to sleep. The enemy isn't just attacking through violence and darkness. He's attacking through distraction, through comfort, through noise. He knows if he can keep your mind busy, he can keep your spirit weak. If he can clutter your thoughts, he can dull your discernment. And if he can steal your focus, he can steal your power. Your mind is a battlefield. And right now, many are losing that battle. The enemy doesn't have to destroy you if he can just keep you entertained. If he can get you obsessed with opinions, trapped in comparison, or addicted to comfort, then he's already won a major fight. We live in a world where silence feels uncomfortable, where reflection feels like a burden. You don't even give your soul room to breathe. You wake up and check your phone before you even check your heart. You're more connected to updates than you are to the Spirit of God. And in this kind of warfare, that disconnection is fatal. You can't afford to live distracted anymore. You can't keep acting like you'll shift your focus when things get serious, because things are already serious. The enemy is targeting your peace, your clarity, your ability to hear from God. If your mind is cloudy, your vision is compromised. If your attention is divided, your decisions are delayed. And in this season, delay is dangerous. One wrong decision, one moment of compromise, one moment of confusion, and you could miss what God is trying to show you. This isn't the time to be half in. This isn't the time to be lazy with your thoughts or careless with your attention. You've got to guard your mind like your eternity depends on it, because it does. You've been called to be a soldier, not a spectator. And soldiers don't carry distractions into battle. They strip off everything that slows them down. They focus. They move with urgency. They live with discipline. That's the mindset you need now. You can't play both sides. You can't serve God and stay distracted by the world. You can't want spiritual power while feeding your mind with spiritual poison. It's time to fast from the noise, fast from opinions, fast from everything that pulls you away from your assignment. Because if you don't control your focus, something else will. Your ability to stand in the last days will not depend on how much you know. It will depend on how focused you are. Because when the deception hits, when the confusion rises, when the pressure increases, only those who are deeply rooted and mentally locked in will endure. This isn't about feelings anymore. It's about being spiritually sharp, being sensitive to the voice of God, being unshakable in your convictions. And none of that is possible with a distracted mind. You've got to reclaim your attention. You've got to retrain your focus. You've got to detox from the things that pull your heart in 1,000 directions. This is the time to renew your mind, not just once, but daily. This is the time to meditate on truth, not trends. This is the time to unplug from what drains you and plug into what equips you. Because the mind that's anchored in truth is the weapon the enemy can't break. The person who's mentally prepared, spiritually disciplined, and laser focused will not be shaken, no matter what storm comes. Rapture fear fades when your faith is real. When your relationship with God is deep, consistent, and rooted in truth, fear doesn't have a stronghold. Fear thrives in uncertainty, in distance, in half commitments, and double lives. But when you're fully surrendered, When you walk closely with the one who holds eternity, that fear begins to lose its grip. Most people are afraid of the rapture not because the event itself is terrifying, but because they know deep down they aren't ready. They living in compromise, in comfort, in a constant cycle of getting close to God and falling back into the world. They're scared because they've been playing both sides. And the thought of being exposed, of being left behind, keeps them up at night. But when your life is anchored in obedience, when your heart is truly His, you don't live in panic, you live in peace. Real faith isn't just belief, it's surrender, it's transformation. It's saying yes to God, not just with your lips, but with your life. And when that level of faith is active in you, fear begins to disappear. Because you're not just hoping you'll make it, you're living like you already belong to the kingdom. You're walking in the light, not hiding in the shadows. You're aligned with truth, not trying to twist it. And the more aligned you are with heaven, the less this world has a grip on you. Fear is the weapon the enemy uses to paralyze people who haven't fully trusted the Father. But when faith is real, when it's been tested, proven and refined in the fire, fear has no room to breathe. The rapture isn't supposed to scare the believer. It's supposed to strengthen the believer. It's not a threat. It's a promise. It's the finish line for those who've been running faithfully. It's the rescue for those who've denied themselves, carried their cross, and followed Christ even when it cost them everything. If the mention of the rapture fills you with dread, that's not the Spirit of God convicting you. It's your soul reacting to the distance you've allowed between yourself and Him. And the solution isn't to hide from the topic, it's to close the gap. Get back into alignment. Get serious about your walk. Let your life reflect your belief. People are out here reading prophecy and still panicking because their faith hasn't moved beyond information. They know what's coming, but they haven't prepared for it personally. Real faith isn't just knowing the times, it's being ready for them. It's living with urgency, but not anxiety. It's doing the work of the kingdom while resting in the promises of the King. It's having oil in your lamp every single day, not scrambling to find it when the bridegroom shows up. That kind of faith doesn't flinch when the trumpet sounds. It rejoices. It lifts up its head. It says, fine. Fear fades in the presence of truth. Fear shrinks when your foundation is unshakable. And your foundation isn't unshakable because you're strong. It's unshakable because He is. Faith isn't about perfection. It's about pursuit. It's about keeping your eyes on Him when everything else is falling apart. It's about trusting His word over your feelings. It's about standing on promises when the world is sinking in panic. If your faith is real, your posture in this season won't be fear. It will be focus. It will be boldness. It will be fire. You won't let fear dictate your choices. You won't let fear dictate your choices. You'll live prepared, not paranoid. You'll speak truth without apology. You'll worship with passion. You'll serve with urgency. And you'll wait not with worry, but with confidence. The world is breaking down, but God is building you up. Everything around you might look like it's falling apart. Systems failing, nations collapsing, morality disappearing, truth being twisted, families divided, and chaos flooding every corner of society. But while all of that noise is screaming louder, God is working in silence. He's not shaken by the headlines. He's not panicked by the darkness. He's not distracted by the rebellion. He's focused on you. He's building you in the middle of the storm. He's preparing you in the pressure. He's shaping your character while the world is losing its identity. What feels like shaking is really separating. What feels like pressure is really preparation. What feels like loss is really pruning. He's not breaking you. He's breaking everything that can't go with you into your next season. There's a refining process happening right now, and it's not easy. You're feeling stretched, pressed, uncomfortable, isolated, but that's what growth feels like. That's what spiritual maturity looks like. It doesn't come through comfort. It comes through surrender. While the world chases comfort, God's children are being called to carry their cross. While culture shouts louder, God whispers deeper. While fear spreads, God is fortifying faith in the hidden places. You're not being punished, you're being prepared. You're not being overlooked, you're being developed. You're not being crushed, you're being crafted into something eternal. This is the time to lean into the discomfort, not run from it. Because if you only seek ease, you'll miss elevation. If you only want peace without pressure, you'll never step into power. God is allowing some things to fall apart around you so you'll finally stop leaning on them. He's letting you see what's unstable so you can build on what's unshakable. The world will keep breaking. The systems will keep failing. The wicked will rise. The confusion will grow. But none of that is designed to destroy you. It's designed to reveal you, to call you out of hiding, to wake up the warrior inside of you, to separate the spectators from the soldiers. While the world collapses in fear, God is raising up people who are unmovable, people who are rooted in truth, people who walk with boldness and live with clarity. Don't be discouraged by what's falling apart around you. Be encouraged by what's rising up inside of you. That peace you've been fighting for, it's being built in the battle. That wisdom you've been praying for, it's being formed in the fire. That strength you didn't think you had is coming alive through every struggle. You are being shaped by divine hands in a season of global shaking. What looks like chaos to the world is confirmation for you. God is still in control. And he's not just preparing a place for you, he's preparing you for that place. This is why your focus matters now more than ever. This is why you can't afford to get distracted by noise or discouraged by collapse. You've got to keep your eyes on what he's doing in you, not just what's happening around you. You've got to listen to his voice more than the culture's volume, because while they see destruction, you see direction. While they panic, you prepare. While they give up, you go deeper. The world is breaking down, but you are being rebuilt from the inside out. Stronger, wiser, cleaner, bolder. This is the time to rise, not retreat. This is the time to stand firm, not fall back. God is using everything around you, the pressure, the pain, the persecution, to produce something in you that will last beyond this world. Something that reflects his glory. Something that carries his power. Something that endures forever.